Hey everybody, it's John Stauffer. I'm here to bring you a tech tip from MCAM Northwest. Today I want to talk about migration. More specifically, I want to talk about what our code looks like after migration. See, 2025 is coming out, and that means we're going to have to migrate our posts up pretty soon. Now, when we do that, we want to make sure that everything's working correctly with our post. So how do we do that? Well, I'm going to show you the process that I use to compare post output between versions after migration. Let's take a look. So if we look here, I'm in 2024. I've got a part that I've worked out, and importantly, this part has basically every kind of cycle I could look for. It's got all the various drilling cycles with the different G codes. I've got dynamic motion, I've got contours with compensation, lots of different types of code, as well as some manual entry stuff. So this really gives a pretty complete look at my post. I'm sure that there's probably a little more I could do, but the idea here is to just get as much as you possibly can built into that code. So what I'll do is, before I do my migration, or even after, it doesn't really matter, I'm going to open up my 2024 version, select all, go ahead and post. And I'm going to put this right in this particular folder, a special folder, and I'm going to call this, let's just go ahead and call this 2024 original post. All right, go ahead and save that. Now, of course, I've got my code expert popping up, but I don't really need that quite yet. Next, I'm going to go ahead and open up 2025 and I open up the exact same file. So I haven't migrated this file up. You can see that it's an older version. And I'm just going to simply take this after I've done my migration. I'll take everything here and just go ahead and post. So I'll post here. And now this, I'm going to call this 2025 migrated. Got that one, don't need that either yet. Now the last thing to do here, I want to grab all the operations and then hit regenerate on them. Now the reason I'm doing this is because I want to make sure that there's nothing else that could have changed after the migration. And sometimes a regen actually can trigger some things, so it's a good thing to check. So I've done that. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit G1, post one more time. This one, I'm going to call this 2025 regenerated. So now I have those three files. Again, that pops up, don't really need it. What I'm going to do next is open up the Simco Edit software. This comes pre-installed with Mastercam. The reason I'm doing it is because it actually has a file compare utility built into it that already works. So I'm just going to go to Open over here on the Editor tab, and I'm going to start with my 2024 original, and then I'm going to go to the File Compare, and I'll go to Compare with File. Then I'll select my 2025 migrated. So I've migrated the post at this point, but I haven't regenerated anything. I bring that in, it runs the file compare, and it tells me that these files are identical. There are no differences found. So that's really good. That tells me that the migration's probably not doing anything to my post, and I really don't need to be that worried about it. The next thing to do here would be to open up another file, and this time I'm going to go with the 2025 migrated, and I'm going to use my compare against my 2025 regenerated. Now this says file compare failed. There's too many differences between the two files. When I click OK, it shows me those differences. What I'm seeing here is some differences in XY motion, and this is the very first operation, which happens to be a 2D dynamic. So that tells me that my post is probably fine because the first check that we did was good, but there may be some differences in the way that the toolpath is actually calculated between versions. This may or may not be a good thing. We may need to do a little bit of digging here. This is where we need to go back into Mastercam and open up this operation and see if there's any changes that were made between this version and the last version in terms of how the cut parameters are set up or any other potential options. Oh, they've added finish passes for 2D dynamic. So depending on how that changes the calculation, it may make a difference. If we see a difference like this, of course, it's worth it to run everything through Verify and make sure that that's going to work well. If you have simulation, go ahead and run that too. But ultimately, changes like XY motion in something like a dynamic or a 3D finishing operation are generally not a big deal. It's still going to give you a good part. What we're really looking for in a file compare is differences in the way that our codes come out in terms of, do our G codes look about the same? Do our M codes look about the same? We want to make sure that that stuff is still working after a regeneration, because if it's not, that's really where the problems can come in. And if you are running into that, you should definitely get hold of your post developer, whether that's us, Postability, in-house solutions, or someone else. So I hope that was helpful for you. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. But more importantly, we want to hear back from you. Leave us a comment below and tell us what you want to learn about Mastercam. 2025 is coming out and we're pretty excited about it. So if you have any questions, just let us know. If you'd like more information on how Mastercam can be integrated into your business, or how to more effectively take control and use the software that you already have, go ahead and contact us at sales@mcamnw.com. Thanks, and have a good day.